Today, Andrea has brought us a heartbreaking story from the state of Las Vegas. Sorry, the state of Nevada. I am so sorry. I was reading and thinking at the same time, which clearly is not my forte. Um, Out of the state of Nevada, and it definitely merits what I would call a trigger warning if you're sensitive to child death and injury, which most of us probably are. You may want to take a little bit of caution with this story. It's heartbreaking what happened to this young man. Andrea, take it away.
Thanks, Jen. All right. So this one just, oh, I have to take a deep breath because it really is a lot. Just opening this article and reading it, it made my heart literally skip a beat for this poor mama, Amanda Corbala. So the incident took place last year in February. And the little boy was named Cruzito, goes by Tank Ruiz, and as Jen said, out of Las Vegas, Nevada. So, little Cruzito, at age 3, he had a traumatic brain injury and it left him with some learning disabilities. And he had an IEP and he was in a specialized class for kiddos with disabilities. So all the staff that was around this little boy was trained to take care of kiddos with special needs, and they were certified. Okay. So this day on February 25th of 2025 is just a normal day around 11:20 in the morning, and Cruzito and his fellow classmates were sitting and having lunch, and he was snacking on pineapple, and he had a pretty big piece, allegedly, and that uh, got stuck in his throat. And he did what any kid, even with disabilities, he was able to do the universal sign of I'm choking, try to pat himself on the back. Then he goes up to a trained adult aide that's supposed to be watching these kiddos, and Miss Teresa Holv. Mm. She turns the boy away and tells him, points to the boy's restroom and tells him, go deal with it in the bathroom. Go try to, allegedly, supposedly, go cough it up in the bathroom alone. Then there's other kiddos, other classmates that are coming up saying, where's Tank? What happened to him? Where is he? Following him into the bathroom. And allegedly, supposedly, 5 to 6 minutes pass before other staff see on the cameras. So there were cameras in the facility, in the cafeteria, and they go in and find poor little Tank. He was collapsed, unconscious, and blue. And when EMTs came and tried to revive him, they saw that there was a large piece of pineapple stuck in his airway, and that was anoxic brain injury was the cause of death for prolonged lack of oxygen to the brain.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's horrifying, Andrea. And
I
when
gotta have my emotional support water bottle have a
I know,
drink while
that,
you talk about this.
well, I know it's hard to get through, and it's especially hard to get through because you know, just as our life experience of advocating for our kids and trying to make sure that, they're treated equitably. I just am horrified to see this, and when you see this article and you can see the pictures from the cafeteria and you can see an adult standing there, um uh, and to just send this child away, and it's gut-wrenching. um I can see from, the research that we had done that they had attempted to use an AED, um, but apparently that was not sufficient to bring him back. Um,
A little too late.
oh, and even still, this young man already had a brain injury prior to dying. Um, and so you can only imagine this situation happening, and were they able to revive him? What would the outcome have been beyond that? It's just so sad. And what a handsome little guy. And he was just days away from his birthday. His date of birth is March the 16th of 2016, and he passed away on March 2nd, 2025. He was just days away from celebrating a birthday, which I'm sure he was very excited for and looking forward to. And his poor mother, who, you know, as a special needs mom, I know she's already been through so much, and this little guy's already been through so much, and in his short little life, just the failure on failure. She, this, the, I'm just so upset. It's hard to talk about this, and I know that they're trained annually in CPR and life-saving measures and the Heimlich maneuver.
Mhm.
And they had an AED on hand, which also brings me to, why didn't they take him to the school nurse? Why did they just send this child away? And we had also discussed, previously about having a life vac in our own homes. And I'm not putting any blame on the mother at all. I'm just saying, like, this is an item that I don't travel without because of a fear of a situation like this, of being somewhere where you need to dislodge something from someone's throat. It's terrifying, and much like drowning, choking often happens silently because you can't make sound. Um, or people don't notice something until it's too late. However, this young man was surrounded by people, including
Exactly. And he
adults, so
doing
there's
all
like
this
literally
time.
no excuse of,
Right. And
how did this happen?
right. Right.
In
It
my
just
opinion, it's just neglect, and it's a lack of empathy and caring, and you are a special needs aide. How is it that we both have had a lot of involvement with special needs school situations, and I have to say I'm lucky. I've been lucky so far that my children, my son especially, his any of his, excuse me, aides, sorry, I was like trying to hold back the tears, and it goes into my sinuses and it
you
makes
know,
my nose run, and I'm just, if I ever got in trouble, like, advocate for me. Sometimes the tears don't always come down my face. Sometimes it floods into my sinuses and makes my nose run, and then I'll cry. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to make light at all. I'm just trying to, like, not cry right now. It's devastating to read this, and there's no good answer other than it's such a neglectful situation and it's such an inequitable situation and these children are just treated so dismissively and it's so disgusting. It- why? I just couldn't imagine being like, why did you send him away from you? Why didn't you take him to the nurse? Why didn't you call anybody else for help? If you were in a panic situation, which hey, that's the worst time to find out that you can't handle a scary situation is when you're faced with one and that's your job and like you knew what you were signing up for. I'm sorry you weren't like delivering newspapers or, something where you wouldn't have any interaction with, children or be in a life-saving situation or potentially have to provide first aid to someone.
Right. Or you wouldn't have had that training to begin with.
You have to have it annually. I know you do. I had to have it annually, and like I had mentioned before, I didn't even have any, situation where I was involved with any child in that particular job, but I also worked at a county hospital, and although I was not patient facing, my badge still designated me as a caregiver because that particular status meant that if faced with some kind of an emergency, though I was not a doctor or a nurse, I worked in the office setting, but I did work in one of the county hospital I don't want to say outlet, satellites that there were patients there. And so I could potentially be patient facing, um, and have to at least alert, you know, somebody to provide first aid or, have a modicum of compassion. My God. I'm so confused how these people end up in childcare. If you don't like children, then don't work with children. It's not because it's an easy job, it's a hard job. Having your own kids is a hard job, let alone putting yourself in a public setting, even a private setting, where you're caring for other people's kids. Like, if you don't like them, then don't be around them. I,
Be bothered.
if you're not, yeah, if you can't be bothered to just do the bare minimum of any of a parent of, hey, my job is to keep you safe and alive.
That's sad when other children that you're supposed to
There's
be
little kids that
watching,
that are probably also in a special needs class because they're sitting together.
right? They're the ones that take action and they're probably the ones that sought help and allegedly, supposedly, right? That's sad when so other probably 8 to 10-year-old probably range, something like that. They have
I have
more
no
discernment in the
no
situation.
explanation. Yes, discernment. Yes.
I'm trying to think of the word discernment in the situation where a full-on adult that's trained yearly and has extensive units in child education, you have to have more, right? For special ed.
Yes, you do.
It's not just a regular schmegular aid.
No, you have to seek this out.
Right.
You're not just like assigned to this. You have to apply for this. Like,
Right. There's so much rigor involved in comparison to just other, and I know being just a regular aid is hard, but if you're going to take the time, the units, everything to put into that, then you better show up daily and not be passive in your job and not fail at how many points. And this poor kiddo, the incident happened at 11:20 and it wasn't until 11:35, so roughly 15 minutes after, and he was
not,
allegedly already gone before any life-saving measures were administered to him.
My personal opinion is that the aide involved,
Teresa.
if not just civilly, criminally negligent, probably some kind of negligent, um, what do they call it? Involuntary manslaughter, something like you watch that child and you send him away, and I mean literally just the bottom line of God,
Mhm.
the bare minimum. It's like I want to I almost would love to talk to them and be like, do you have children at all? Like are you brand new? Did you just like materialize today and show up for a job that you were ill-equipped for? Like obviously they wouldn't talk to me because I would ask them some
Right?
questions that are not framed very nicely. The outrage I feel for this whole family, for the poor mother and this the handsome little guy. I mean, look, and just seeing that he was so close to a birthday on top of everything else. The words aren't there, but this poor mother, she's gonna have to live every day of the rest of her life in grief for her baby. And it's only going to get worse every March when she passes his date of death and then passes his birth. I mean, it's horrific.
Right.
I can only like empathize because my mother died 4 days before her birthday. So we had her death day and then 4 days later her birthday and that whole situation. And it's the roughest week for me sometimes because my son's birthday is like directly after that. So like 7 days I have like my mom died, my mom's birthday, my son's birthday. It's so much emotion in a week, and I focus on my child and my son and the happiness that and the joy that he's brought to my life, both of my children, of course. But just talking about that particular period of time, which is coming up. Um, it's hard. It's very hard. And that's my mother, somebody who you expect to leave you at some point, and not to just jump on the bandwagon of grief. But yeah, it doesn't go away. It might change. It might materialize in different ways. It might I, I would never want to be in this lady's shoes, not ever. And my heart goes out to her. And, I'd mentioned we would be posting some links and show notes, and I'll take a look to find if they happen to have a GoFundMe or anything. Um, it's just
Right.
heartbreaking for this whole situation and for the children involved that had to watch their friend die, knowing that they tried to get him help. And they weren't they weren't heeded, they weren't listened to, and it's just literally like, where's the school nurse? Like my first brain, the first thought in my
Thought in
brain.
your brain?
Yeah, exactly. See, there's me talking
I'll
about,
interpret for you.
hey, I already we are already re-recording this, okay? So obviously my brain is not braining.
Okay.
In my minorest of defenses, like I'm having an off week. I'm on my period, friends. Everybody needs to know.
But hey, is
Come on, any day, menopause. You keep
right. Hey, but these perimenopause, the premenopause, whatever it's called, it does hit differently, and especially in this valley heat. My goodness.
Am I the only one that loves it? I'm sorry. Am I the only one that loves it? Now, after 100 and like 5, yeah, it's getting too hot. Fair enough. Am I the only one that loves the heat? I feel like I should be an iguana. I like lay on like a rock and be like, "Oh, I'm basking in the heat." I love it.
I'm good until like 95, and then oh, I don't know.
95, you ain't built for this place, sister. That's pretty much like spring. 95, I'm like, that's jacket weather. What are you talking about? Look at me in my long sleeves. Like I'm a
My
bit
gosh,
chilly.
no, 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 no. I think I've always just ran quite hot. But yeah, all that to say, it does hit the periods hit different when you're in your 40s and the hormones and who knows. Oh, I feel ya from deep in my heart on that
Thank
one.
you. Thank you. I
Um,
appreciate it, and I will take that pity.
But like we're saying with these, back to the case. So at this Bass Elementary School, so these kiddos that experienced their friend Tank Cruzito passing, and he's just gonna go into that bathroom, and that's the last they're gonna see this poor kiddo. Just imagine the trauma for these kiddos and these kiddos' family. Would you really want to send your kid back to that school when you
No, no, absolutely not. I would not have
been
any faith in them
traumatized?
whatsoever. And, on top of that, well, the the research I looked at that the aide said that I want to call him Tank because what a little sweetie. That she just said he wasn't feeling well and he had his cheeks puffed out and he needed to, maybe she thought he had a vomit or something. It's like, okay, well, again, you're a special needs aide. Like, I wouldn't just,
How convenient for
how
her to have that
convenient to send him
support.
away from you. Like, then it says, I started to say to go to the bath and then stopped and said, go to the trash can, not the bathroom. And if needed, someone else can take you to Miss Laura, the nurse's office. While they went to, this says verbatim, while they went to trash can, I went back to my class just 3 to 4 feet away. So you just said, huh, go to the trash can. I don't believe you because that kid went to the bathroom where you told him to go. Why would you send him away from you? And then I was only a couple feet away. I just walked away. So, oh
I
my
couldn't be bothered.
God. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
What? Huh. Oh, he might be throwing up. He might be choking to death on a piece of pineapple. I can't be concerned to, go with him. Or say, any other adult around? Hey, you, cafeteria worker.
So you didn't consult anybody
Anybody.
else.
Like, literally, like, I need help. This kid is choking. I need help. I think this kid's throwing up everywhere. Call the janitor. Anybody. The custodian probably has to have the same like the same first aid responder training. I'm sure they do because they could potentially walk past a kid who passes out in the hallway.
Yeah,
I'm like,
rigorous
I'm
training.
just like literally stumped of like, and oh, and maybe we could take you to Miss Laura. Oh, great. Well, where was Miss Laura this whole ass time?
Call Miss Laura in and have her
Miss
walk
Laura can
down.
obviously make the call of like, hey, you know,
Yeah.
something. Damn. I saw the terror and distress in this child's face and said, go to the bathroom.
And when you see the terror and distress of someone choking, it it's so scary. My son, I have a personal connection to this, and the fact that my kiddo, when we were out to eat when he was about 8 years old, choked when we were having an appetizer, and that it does it this happens in complete silence, like you're saying. It's scary. They cannot. And he did the same. Like there's something just the fear in the eyes, and then hands around the throat, like. And I literally had to stick my finger down his throat and pull and dislodge the piece of chicken that was a little chicken nugget that was in his throat.
Poor baby. I know he was so scared. That poor guy.
So yeah, my heart once again goes out to these kiddos that saw this happen and they, yeah, they're traumatized in the fact that these people, these adults, are supposed to be in charge of a situation, supposed to be helping. That's what you always tell a kiddo, go to an adult, which he did everything right, like we're saying, and they failed
Scariest part
every step,
of
failed him.
becoming an adult is realizing that the adults that you thought knew everything didn't know shit.
Agreed.
You're just like, oh man, you're just trying to get by too.
Yes.
Who's running this place? It's
Yeah,
like
you
always like some
know,
mysterious, like they know what's going on. Who the hell is they?
yeah.
There's no they. Ugh. Advocate, advocate, advocate. Show up, be a bitch, be their nightmare. If they see you coming and they get scared, good,
Yeah.
good. You're doing your job. You're
Yes.
not there to make friends.
Right. And the school districts know the parents that are, you know, not going to be involved. And they could be for a number of cases. Hey, life is hard, 2026, it's hard. Life is lifing, right? I mean, full-time jobs, all the things. They could have many people have multiple kiddos with
Correct.
disabilities, and you're here, you're there, you're only one, maybe two parents, in the home. Who knows what the home life is? So they have their notes. They're taking part in knowing who's going to step up to the plate and who they can get away with,
Yep.
like
You better
not
believe it.
blatant abuse, but neglect in so many levels, right? Where they're like, oh well, that happens. But
They'll
if
tolerate my shenanigans. I almost said my favorite F word. I'm trying to clean it up, Andrea.
I'm proud
I'm
of you,
trying to, thank you. I'm trying to do better.
but if they know, they're like, oh, this is whose kid? Oh, it's Jennifer's kid. Oh, okay. Yeah, you gotta, you know, you gotta have something next to the name to let them know. You're right, to spark that
Like
little.
I always say, just like Janet Jackson, it's Jennifer, Mrs. Squire if you're nasty. And bitches, I'm nasty and you're nasty too. I loathe. I don't care about my last name. It is what it is. I loathe and I have told them in so many IEP meetings, my name is not mom. There are two people on this planet that can call me mom, and you're not one of them. My okay, I don't even go there, but I won't name the name. I almost said who. There's somebody else in my husband's family that persistently will call me mom. And I've several times been like, that is not, my name is not mom. My name's not mom. My name is Jennifer. Jen? Jennifer? Please don't call me Jenny unless you know me really well. And, other than that, I don't know what to tell you. Call me Mrs. Squire then. I don't know what to say.
And then it's funny how we have to go jump through all their
Oh,
hoops
you
and
want me to call you
protocol.
Mr. and Mrs. So-and-so?
Yeah,
Bite me. What's your first
exactly.
name? I'm gonna call you
Exactly.
Pookie. Don't
Right.
call me mom.
I know. And I try to be respectful in my emails and my interactions with whatever you want me to call you, I'll call you. That's fine. But you better have the same level of respect. Best believe. Because I'll be in your inbox, I'll be in your office, I'll be in your, up in your business.
I'm gonna be there. The bell rings at 8:15. Guess what? I'm gonna be there at 8:14. Wait for the door to open.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And they always wanted know where I was or what I was doing and why can't I be. I'm like, well, why can't you do the things that you already told me that you are gonna do? So it's funny how they always want to have accountability to the parents and it's gonna take me, 24 to 48 hours to respond to that, this, that, or the other. But the parents better be, on top of it. They better jump as high whenever they say jump this high. No. Uh-uh. Nope, it's a two-way street.
And look, I mean, I meet the teachers with respect. I don't come busting in, but I also make sure I don't give the impression that I'm a doormat because in my former life I was, not anymore.
Right?
Nay,
Nobody.
nay, I say, if you knew me back then, honey, you don't know me now. That's all I could tell you. I'm not, I'm, that girl's long gone.
Yeah.
And in her place is, mm, I've called it Diana Junior, Diana Diet Diana, whatever. My mom's,
Diana, yes.
I'm like I am the tamed
Third
down version
version.
of my mother. I really am.
The
Because,
sugar
because
free.
if she heard this story, she would have been like, "I- I'd be in jail. I would have broken her house and I would have beat the holy shit out of her, or, or worse, because my child died. I mean, like, and I can't, I can't say any different. I'm proud of this person, this mother, for trying to let the law do their job, but damn, I don't know what to say.
Right. We haven't walked in her shoes,
Just
so
like just like the one of the real mob wives used to say, violence is not the answer, and then she goes, "Yes, it is."
ugh,
That's coming from me, okay? That's not like the street legal official operation that you should go by, but maybe it is. I don't know. I don't live your life. I don't know how much bail money you have set aside. Might be worth looking into. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know the answer, Andrea, other than it's a nightmare and there's nothing more precious to you than your child. And then to have somebody just act with such disregard just for general, human life, just just the lack of empathy and caring and understanding. And I mean, I've never seen that particular situation, but I've seen other emergency situations, and I've been not just in my old job at the hospital, but the a job that I spent like a decade at, there were fatalities on that property. There were things where I my particular job, I had to train people to be a first responder 911 caller and had to review these types of things. And maybe I have a different set of life experiences, but certainly even without those, if I saw a child in distress, I wouldn't say go to the bathroom, bye. Maybe I'll have somebody come and check on you in a minute and take you to the nurse. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? What's
apparently
wrong with
plenty.
you? Damn. Like the literal minimum least of your job. And you can't do that much. Like, oh, I just the straight up heartless. That's heartless. This little kid, it's heartless.
Such a lack for humanity.
Yeah.
And like we were saying before, how this is really mirroring just how society is in 2026, how it feels. Eh, It's so many rights and things are being suspended, taken away for disabled kiddos, and it's a scary path if we don't continue to advocate and stand up.
Look, I'm gonna put this on video, as good as in writing. I will never allow my child to be part of an autism registry. That's real Nazi to me. Like, oh, what next? I mean, like, what next? Now, what? Like, everybody's gonna have to submit their DNA to, do. I don't even know. We're living in increasingly unfrigalicious times. I mean, that's the best way to put it. That's what I tell my kids. You're being very unfrugalicious right now.
That's a great way to put it.
Hey, it stops me from swearing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fergie, wherever you are. I hope you're out there doing one-handed flips, girl.
Well, we hold space and give our prayers to Amanda Corbala, and we hope that her federal lawsuit that she filed in March of this year with the Clark County School District, that there's something comes of
Some
this.
remedy. I
Yes.
mean, it does no dollar amount will ever bring your child back. It certainly won't. And I don't even know what the details of that are, and I apologize for that, but a modicum of justice for this family, for this little sweet little baby boy, little Tank. Um, I'm gonna make him our thumbnail and make sure that his name is prominent in the title and yes, for Amanda Corbala, uh, definitely my heart aches for you and your family, and we're remembering this little guy. Um, I'm gonna jump out of here really quickly, Andre. I'm gonna end this and hold please. Bye, everybody.